a sample solution for assignment 1. I've laid out the major objects in a simple solution to assignment 1. We have a server, we have threaded game objects that will communicate with clients. I am only doing the high-level objects. I am not showing the datagrams and the sockets and stuff like that. Notice that I'm using bold lines for active and non-bold for passive objects. A client makes a request to the server to join, to either join or to create. That's going to be up to your personal protocol. In this case, there are no games, so there's no option. What happens is the server spawns a thread, and while spawning that thread, passes the socket on which to communicate with client 1. At the same time, the server would update our game database and say there's game 1 and it currently has 1 player in it. A second client comes along and say it wants to join that game. Okay, either that or it's automatically. In this scenario, the server passes the socket of this client to this game. Now, in terms of OO, that means there has to be a method inside of here by which the server can pass that object. I'm assuming you've done that. We are now incrementing the number of players to 2. In the scenario here, third client comes along, and this client is going to ask to do a new game, either that or we've decided to create a game. So the server will again spawn a second client, add it to the database. So we have G2 here, and it has 1 player. In terms of implementation, it means inside of these game objects, there's an array list, for instance, an array or array list of sockets to which this particular thread is connected. So inside of here, you can imagine, if I could draw it, it's got an array list of C1, C2. And inside of here, we've got an array list of C3. That's all about connecting. Now, what's going on in terms of the game itself? Each one of these will be going, say, on a 2-minute cycle. It will be going to this database over here, which is a collection of words and the responses to each one of them. Now, again, there's going to be many, many types of implementations, and I'm not really concerned about that. But essentially, there's going to have to be some synchronization inside of here. So the game is going to be, each one of these threads is going to, I'll just draw it down here, for instance. This thread is going to be doing, it's going to be going get word, and it's going to return a word. It's going to then send that word to all of the clients. And maybe I'll just continue on inside of this guy here. It's sent to all of his clients. And in this case, he's only got 1 client, and wait for a response. The client then returns a word. And that word, in turn, is put inside of the database. Now we're going to do put word. Put word. We don't need anything back from there, but we do want to associate a string with a string. Presumably inside of here you probably have some kind of hash map. Okay? Now if I'm going to take a break here